Today, we'll get an update from Governor Holcomb on how states are doing with COVID-19. But lately, COVID cases, hospitalizations, and deaths, they're all trending downward, which is good news. It's something we've been waiting for months. But what's causing all this? Let's go to Karen right now, who's happy to be inside here in the studio. Karen, what are you finding out?
Well, scientists say they are simply baffled as to why the number of people diagnosed with COVID-19 has seen a sharp decline. So I want to walk some of the viewers through what we're seeing this morning in terms of some of the graphics we were able to put together to you. So you can see on this graph, right, Indiana COVID-19 cases. It shows that peak right between about November 10th through say early to mid-December. These are where the highest peaks are. But as you gradually get into the later part of December into November, you see here right before January 5th, there's a sharp decline. It goes up slightly, but then it also declines again. This is after January the 19th. That's when cases really start to plummet. Now, we also have a 7-day average that we want to show you. If you take a look over here, this yellow highlighted area here, it shows a 7-day average after about January 5th through the end of January. This is where scientists are focused on. That is where this sharp decline is coming from. But again, it's unclear as to why. Now, we know under 3,000 each day since January 22nd. That's the number that has declined. Now, 1,565 reported cases Tuesday. That's the lowest since October. But the good news is that even though researchers say there's not a very good answer as to why, they don't believe the vaccine has something to do with it. They don't want to point to that definitively. We spoke to Dr. Graham Carlos at Eskenazi. He believes the decrease is not just one factor.
Number one, a lot of people have had COVID, so they have some immunity. Number two, vaccinations. Hoosiers are doing a great job getting vaccines. That's creating some immunity within the community. And then lastly, people are still wearing masks. They are distancing. They are taking this virus seriously. All of those things combined are helping us out.
Now, doctors say the important thing is for us not to relax, especially with these new variants of viruses like the strain we saw earlier from the UK or the one from South Africa. Now, experts say it's more important than ever for people to get vaccinated because we could possibly have a third wave, they believe, come spring or even summer.
All right, can't let up yet. All right, thanks, Karen. And here's a quick look at where Indiana's vaccination rates stack up against the rest of the country. You can see we're in blue, meaning about 7 to 9% of our state's population already received at least one dose of the vaccine. We're at about the same pace as a majority of other states, but things could start picking up there now that Hoosiers 65 and older are now eligible for the vaccine. And we just learned 1 million doses of the vaccine are headed to 6,500 pharmacies across the country starting next Thursday. Pharmacies still do have to follow the state's guidelines. So if you aren't eligible right now, you can't just stop by a CVS or Walgreens and get the shot. And remember, if you have any questions about how to sign up or if you're eligible, just text the word vaccine to the number on your screen. We'll send you a handful of helpful resources.
But with all the good news comes a little bit of bad news. Indiana hit an unfortunate milestone during the pandemic. More than 10,000 Hoosiers have now died from COVID. This includes people with a confirmed diagnosis and those the doctors presumed had died from the virus. Most of these deaths were Hoosiers 60 and up, parents and grandparents. That's why the vaccine is so important.
And COVID-19 is making everything more difficult. When it comes to taxes, we're already seeing people having to change how they usually file, either from the stimulus checks or other pandemic problems. The big question people have right now, can they write off their utility bills or their equipment that they have bought for their home office? Well, the easy answer, no, unless you're self-employed. And if you've been unemployed this year, you will need a tax form for the unemployment that you got. And if you got stimulus money, either in the first or second rounds, don't worry, you won't be taxed for that. But get forms from the IRS showing those payments.
Some may have that form, some may not. So I just double check and I ask if they did receive their any of the stimulus payments at all.
And Jones says if you were supposed to get this last $600 stimulus money and didn't, you'll get a credit money either added to your refund or used to reduce what you do owe in taxes. You can find tips for our tax experts at WTHR.com and our WTHR News app.